Thank you so much for checking out this free video. If you don't mind, please click like and subscribe.
Interesting thing about him as the press conference guy or the face of the person to answer all these questions is when they are going great, he can kind of get away with that kind of stuff. But if there are some questions, some real questions, and there, we did this whole thing last night, whether or not, there are signs of slowdown or not. You can go back and listen to that if you haven't to make your own determination. But in times of maybe not 100% white hot, everyone is 100% behind him. I just don't see his style of answering these questions and kind of locker room bullying everybody. It just looks bad. Like this whole thing, like in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, he says that knowing that the exact way that he said it means that everybody who does wrestling journalism for a living is literally now going to urgently find out what the answer is.
And it wasn't that, I don't say it wasn't that hard to find out, but put it this way, it wasn't that hard to find out what everyone in the company believed, okay, which is that, that it was, I don't know when the decision was made, it was a late decision, but he obviously, the idea that he was done was very real, okay? I've since found out from somebody who would absolutely know that, yeah, it wasn't, that close guarded secret. It always could be they're working the boys and working everyone and all that. And you could do that, and they have done that in the past. Look, the Punk thing, if you remember, it was like Seth and McIntyre and everyone, the ones who were actually, well, Seth was, I don't think Seth Rollins was happy, but what he did was a work to set up everything that's happened. McIntyre turned into a work to set up everything that happened, but he really wasn't happy. But he, they found out before. It wasn't that he ran in and they didn't know, which, TNA has done that, where the people in the ring literally were told when what was Abyss, right? Remember the Abyss story? Abyss, Abyss and TNA didn't come to terms on a contract. It's almost the exact same story as this, actually. So Abyss and TNA don't come to terms on a contract. And then they make a deal at the last minute. And they have I think it was on a pay-per-view. I don't think it was on television. And they wanted to do their big surprise, and Abyss was doing a run-in. And I think it was Scott Hall was in the ring when he does the run-in. And you can imagine Scott Hall, they didn't tell him. Mm-hmm. And he sees Abyss run in the middle of his match without them telling him. You can imagine, what he thought, as a professional wrestler who's a legitimate star, about like, what kind of bullshit is this? They don't tell us, so, that's been done. Everyone does it. There's but it is, I found it fascinating. I find it fascinating. I don't know if it's like, again, there's so many ramifications of this. But also, not just that the fans are going to now do this when anyone of any name value is cut. Could you imagine, like, if there was a Bray Wyatt type cut now, like what a disaster that would end up being, with this fan base now, like if it happened now. And the other one is that, like just the whole booking, like if I'm Cody Rhodes, you know what I mean? He's a team player. He's not, if he's going to get mad, he's the only one who's going to know it. He ain't going to tell anyone anyway. But the point is, it's like, this was my, after that really badly booked thing with Cena for him. And really it was. And coming back and, the big comeback and everything like that. And then he's here to get the big pin, and, it's totally overshadowed. You know what I mean?
If you love this show, you should consider signing up at WrestlingObserver.com. WrestlingObserver.com has every show that we have ever done. Over 15,000 podcasts in the archives, dating back to 2005. Searchable by show, searchable by year. Perhaps the first show you ever watched was 2008 WrestleMania? Well, you can head into the archives and you can find the podcast we did, all built around the 2008 WrestleMania. Every major show, whether it be WWE, AEW, we covered it all 15,000 archived shows at WrestlingObserver.com. Also, when you subscribe, you get full access to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. There's a new Observer every Friday. And on top of that, we have thousands and thousands of archived issues of the Observer dating back to 1991. So again, WrestleMania 2008. Go to the archives, search WrestleMania 2008, read all of the issues surrounding that show. Of course, Wrestling Observer newsletter, 40,000 words of news and information on pro wrestling and mixed martial arts every single week. New issue comes out every Friday. New back issue comes out every Monday. You also get the discussion board. One of the best discussion boards on the internet. It's members only. If you're going to troll, well, you got to pay to troll, and there aren't too many of those. And if you cause too much trouble, you're out of there. So if you want a great place to discuss professional wrestling, it is the board. Also available as a subscriber at WrestlingObserver.com. The whole package, all of the new shows, all of the archived shows, all of the new issues of the Observer, all of the archived editions of the newsletter, all of the past episodes of Wrestling Observer Radio, Wrestling Observer Live, The Brian and Vinny Show, Figure 4 Daily, Filthy 4 Daily, The Board, all of it, just $14.99 per month. The full shebang, and you can save a lot of money getting an annual subscription. A full year, you basically get 2 months free. So check it out, WrestlingObserver.com, everything you'll ever need as a fan of professional wrestling. Check it out today, F4WOnline.com.